welcome, and let's get going.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking to you. You as a board of Gilead pharmaceutical company, who has the blockbuster treatment of HCV, hepatitis C, the chronic disease. Today we're here to address the ethical issue around the pricing of the drug. I'm Julian, this is Nina. I'll give the word to Nina.
Can you imagine waking up every morning having a fever, your throat is sore, and your head hurts? You're trying to get dressed while you have a very itchy skin and your rash on your arms, making it nearly impossible to find a sweater, which doesn't make it worse. You're going into the bathroom facing the next challenge of brushing your teeth because your toothpaste is sticking to your lips, making them burn. You want to brush your hair, at least what is left of it. You haven't had your bite of a breakfast for so long because everything tastes like iron to you. You're too weak to go to work, so you're staying at home, not enjoying the TV program. You're missing your kids' soccer game because you can't simply make it out of bed. And when the day finally is over, you can't fall asleep because you're fearing the next day. This is your daily routine for the next 48 weeks, nearly a year. Why? Because you're infected with HCV, hepatitis C. And you're going under the old treatment with heavy side effects for a curement rate less than 50%. No wonder that patients in the US dropping out of that old treatment every day because they actually cannot bear the side effects anymore and they are running the risk of a liver cirrhosis in the future. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the board of Gilead. We are here to talk to you today addressing the issue of making your blockbuster pill more accessible to the US citizens. We are presenting you our plan, the United States Sovaldi Accessible Plan, which will pull out the plug of the highly inflatable public debate about your market price on the pill, which excludes customers. I will hand over the word to my colleague Julian, and he will introduce you to the ethical price issue here.
So, 2014 meant a huge change for patients diagnosed with chronic hepatitis C. Why? Sofosbuvir. Sofosbuvir is the first oral cure that will treat and full recover the hepatitis C disease. No more injections, over 90% cure rate, and no more liver transplant needed for a full recovery. Sofosbuvir was patented by the end of 2013 by a company called Pharmasset. Pharmasset later on was acquired by Gilead, an American company. Gilead acquired not only Pharmasset but also the rights on Sofosbuvir. They bought Sofosbuvir in the last phase of clinical testing, and they bought Pharmasset. Gilead, as a company, has a huge portfolio of HIV medicines to provide across the whole world. After the acquisition, they also had the medicine to treat HCV, of course. So it's fair to say that Gilead has the power to treat all the US citizens diagnosed with HCV. When Sofosbuvir was launched on the market, the drug was called Sovaldi. After the launch on the market, a huge public debate was inflamed on the price of that drug. The people didn't understand the whopping price tag of $84,000 for 12 weeks treatment. The public opinion was funded upon the dilemma or the question whether this huge price was based upon the either the the high paid premium on the acquisition of Pharmasset or on the enormous value the drug gave to society. So we can see it's fair that the people was wondering the question which is the following: is it ethical to make patients contribute to the price, to the huge price of a drug that is actually caused by a highly paid acquisition cost? The price of Sovaldi, as it is in the current US insurance landscape, delivers exclusion of patients that don't have the access to the treatment, as they don't have sufficient funds to buy the treatment. So we can ask ourselves the question in this story: is it in any way possible, is it in any way ethically possible that when having the treatment available and also having the resources available to make it accessible to the whole of the US, still excluding patients by not granting them the access to this drug?
No, it's not ethical to exclude patients. We invented the USSAP, which will provide Gilead with the possibility to solve the problem of the unmet needs of the under and uninsured patients in the US. This plan bundles up 3 areas in which the company can extend their moral and ethical involvement in the United States. So let's see what the plan holds. First area is dedicated to save or to grant access to the teenagers in the US who are infected with HIV. The most vulnerable group here is actually the homeless youth. Approximately 1.7 million teenagers are living on the street in the US. And out of them, nearly 12% are infected with HCV. Therefore, we strongly encourage you to take an ethical partnership with non-profit organizations such as Stand Up for Kids, which will actually take care of those kids. The non-profit organization will be your intermediary, and Gilead takes the role on providing the drugs, Sovaldi, for free to those kids, granting the kids with a better life today and actually having a future. The second area of the plan addresses the problem of the underinsured. In order to move forward with the USSAP, granting patients with more access to Sovaldi, we encourage you to enhance your relationship with Medicaid. Well, currently, Medicaid is only prescribing the Sovaldi treatment to the sickest of the sick because of the cost. They can't bear the cost. Yet, we think everyone who is infected with HCV should have access to it. Therefore, we would like you to grant Medicaid with a higher price discount than you currently do, in order to get more patient groups involved in the life-saving treatment. Last but not least, we have the third area, which actually tackles the problem of the out-of-pocket cost, and even the group of people who are not insured at all. As an ethical company, Gilead is offering access and payment plans to patients who cannot afford funding the whole treatment. Since Gilead already implemented those access plans, we would like you to advertise them more. Get the word out there to your patients who need you to help them to fund their life-saving treatment. In conclusion, we would strongly advise you to implement the USSAP into your code of conduct, not only showing your ability, but also showing your willingness to take an active role into moral and ethics into your society. Thank you.
Next up, we have our group from Hong Kong.